Ergopacha?
I'm a little surprised you didn't just anniversary ring or wedding ring or whatever it is. I may have just clicked.
Clicked.
It's not a talkie.
This is it. Wachun Pello, home of the Pello Pello. Wuklamat should have arrived before us. That's good.
Not good. You've come all this way for the right of succession? Oh, so this means I'm exchanging words with the future Dawn servant. Please, the outcome is far from decided, but it is a possibility. How fortunate, then, that I deal in cloaks woven from especially luxurious alpaca wool. Such a garment would look magnificent when draped over the shoulders of our budding ruler. And our nation's ruler should dress her best for her adoring people, yes? Finery for our finest lady, that's right. Come, third promise, my well-stocked shelves are but a few steps away. Finest lady. Heh, I like the sound of that. Alright, I suppose a quick look wouldn't hurt.
Ahem. What did we just talk about?
Aaronville, when did you... Ah, Shatona from far off Zaktaral? Northern winters are bitterly cold affairs, I'm told. I cannot imagine how you survive them without a lovely warm cloak of quality alpaca wool.
No, thank you. I'm not in need of new clothes at the moment. Neither is the third promise. Perhaps another time.
Of course, of course. My shop door is always open. You were saying something about... Oh, you.
You were saying something about not being easily charmed?
I was just...
As I mentioned previously, fellow people live for bringing happiness through truth. Won't cheat you or sell you defective goods. They will, however, disarm you with their deft turns of phrase, and unwitting customers like Woklamat fall prey to this affable approach time and time again. Your only recourse is a clear and firm refusal. They won't pursue the matter should you make your disinterest plain. A valuable insight into the minds of the Pelu Pelu. Let us all take Aaronville's words of caution to heart.
Yeah, Mr. Katana Man.
What you squeaking about, Mr. Squeak?
Ready for the next bit?
Yep.
Not my finest moment, I'll admit. But now that we're here, let's do what we came to do. Find the Elector.
Allow me to propose a strategy, then. Kryl, Alice, and Cattail, and I will speak with the merchants. Woklamat, you and Aaronville might try approaching travelers and passersby. Perhaps. Luxor and
Don't you
Clearly.
have party frames?
Pray investigate any establishments which catch your eye. We learn out of use. Let us relay it, the third promise.
Be sunny.
The Dawn Serpent Selector? Ah, I thought you were a new face in town, here for the right of succession. Take it. Me, I don't care much who sits on the throne as long as they keep Terrell peaceful. People tend not to be in the mood to relax and sip our excellent mezcal once the arrows and spears are flying. You know what I mean. Speaking of which, would you like a cup? A joy shared is a joy doubled, I say. Oh, right. Yes, you were asking about the Electra business. Being but freshly returned from my trading route, I've heard that there is a contest afoot, but not much else. Our head ledger, Tobley, will probably tell you more about it. We learned a thing.
Woo!
Like a floating caravan.
Oh yeah, it's where you traditionally put the chocobo, but it's where the alpaca will go. It's just parked. I'm gonna get the alpaca keep over here. And what's over here then? Oh, gemstone trader. Fates!
Base?
Fates!
Oh.
Electors? Oh yes, I've heard about the right of succession. They're looking to put a new ruler on the throne, eh? Personally, I'm rooting for Zoral Ja. If First Promise wins, he'll look to expand our sphere of influence. That means access to more resources, more customers, in the thousands column potentially. So many new trading opportunities to spread happiness far and wide. Others have been coming around to my way of thinking, so I've been crafting goods inspired by the resilient sun. Would you care to purchase something? No. No, I would not. Very well. You said you wanted to know about an elector. I could help you, but I won't. I can tell you're no supporter of Zoral Ja or his policies. Yeah, well, he's gonna make you subservient, so, How many Murillas are there? My Mablu, you Mablu?
Mablu. Hello there. I'm Mablu. You have a question for me? Sorry, I don't know about any electors. Take a moment to see our prized alpacas before you leave, though. Oh, be sure to admire them from a respectable distance. Get too close, and our nervous darlings may be tempted to spit on you. That stuff stinks. It happened to a visiting buyer not so long ago. Tobley, that's the head rancher, was so mad at me for not giving a proper warning. No one makes a mistake without Tobley noticing. He knows everything happens on the...
Sounds like we need to find this Tobley. I'm assuming you don't want to bop over there and do the fate. Should I go pass in my Wondrous Tales and get another? I don't need to do it right this second.
As long as you do it this week.
Yep. You really have to watch yourself around these silver-tongued peddlers. I almost bought a bottle of mezcal and a stack of blankets, and then there was this enchanting ornament. Anyway, I did manage to learn that Tobley is the man to talk to about the contest. Now, if only they'd share where this head ledger of theirs is to be found. Really? He's also the head rancher. Well, the alpaca ranch is not far from here. I say we pay it a visit before the others return. God, that mountain is so goofy. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of alpacas. Still, we know the head ledger could be here somewhere. I can't let fear deter me. Not to say I'm scared, of course.
Mark.
Excuse me, is one of these workers Tobley?
Tobley? Oh, yes. He likes to mingle with the ranch hands and keep an eye on things. I can't tell you which one he is, though. Well,
You can't? Is this part of the contest?
all I can say is Tobley often mentions his favorite pungent subject. He also can't resist a profitable trade, though who among us could? Am I right? Still, if you bring him a very good deal, he might let his identity slip.
So it's like a game. Easy enough. All I have to do is offer Tobley a deal he can't ignore. No problem at all. Well, maybe one problem. I don't think my purse is deep enough to pay everyone we think might be Tobley. Let's ask some questions first to narrow down the field. Great. We can meet back here to share our impressions.
You think I might be Tobley? Well, maybe I am. I will say that in this village, none have reared more alpacas than I.
Am I Tobley? Yes. Yes, that's me. Excellent work from the third promise in our entourage. Sharp instincts. Shall we commence the rite of succession, then? Well, you don't have to be an asshole about it.
Like you putting that assholeness on him.
No.
Ah, a visitor from across the salt, if I'm not mistaken. Be warned, the alpacas will spit on you if you startle them. Suggest you keep your movements slow and deliberate.
So, diligent.
Unless it's Mablu.
Well, obviously I'm not Tobley. I mean, oops, shouldn't have said that. You're meant to find out who Tobley is or if an elector is even in the village at all. Good luck.
Oh my god.
Yes, I did.
Unfree.
Yep. I see we're both done with our interrogations. So who do you think it is? I have suspicions, but let me hear your pick.
Diligent.
Yeah. Ah, so the worker's so intent on stable chores. I had my eye on that one too. Time to rip the mask off our mystery ranch hand, so to speak. We know it's you, Tobley, and to prove it, I propose a deal. A generous sum of coin for the confirmation of your true identity.
An offer I gladly accept. As you have correctly guessed, I am indeed Tobli, head ledger of the Wachun Pelo, and head rancher of the family ranch. I'm also one of Galu Jajao's chosen electors.
Is this just a race of Unakalhais? Aha! In a place featured in the Tuliolal saga, just as we thought. I was right to trust in your instincts, and I wager this won't be the last time. She found you out fair and square,
Hey.
Tobli.
Hey! And I'm glad she did. Would have been a pity had her bid ended here.
Deducing the Dawnservant's elector was the first step of the feat. Too simple a task for this aspiring ruler, eh?
Very
Right.
strange.
Not hard at all.
Talks super fast in the Japanese.
Zorolja.
I am told the head ledger, Tobli, is to be found here.
You have to guess which one of us is Tobli. That's part of the test.
You're Tobli.
Without even asking a single question. Very impressive indeed. With that amusing prologue out of the way, we can proceed to the actual challenge. Per the Dawnservant's instructions, I was free to devise any manner of feat. I considered the number of possibilities in the 10th column. But I think I have a good one. You must go forth
What?
and capture for me an alpaca.
While I've not had the best experiences with alpacas, aren't they generally docile creatures? That doesn't sound like much of a challenge.
Bring out the example! This is a special kind of alpaca. Would you please approach the animal, Third Promise?
Who? Me? Well, it should stay calm if I stay calm, right? That's what Erinville said. Ah! The little monster spat on me! Ah, oh, that stinks. I can't.
Alpacas are paradoxical creatures, being both extremely curious and extremely cowardly. Press your luck when they're frightened, and you'll get a face full of spit, as you've all just witnessed. Has an awful stench, their expectoration. The globs contain half-digested food, you see, making it an effective deterrent against perceived threats.
Wild valley breed like this one are especially timid, and can therefore be quick to lash out. They're also especially hardy.
Indeed. We take the rugged wild alpacas and breed them with our gentle domesticated stock. This produces the strong but biddable pack animals prized by our traveling merchants.
That's all well and good, but did I need to bathe an alpaca spit for you to make your point?
So, the task is to catch a wild alpaca.
That is correct. But be warned that it is a feat easier said than done. I suggest you prepare well before you enter the valley where the creature
Do we have to stalk them?
And by you, I mean the claimants only. Allies are not permitted to assist with the catching. The alpacas will help me judge which of you is worthy of receiving a keystone.
So I'm to chase down a fluffy, spitting demon, and that somehow proves I'm fit to rule?
As I said, the Dawn Servant granted me the freedom to decide my challenge. And when you reach the end of the ride, I dare say you will understand why I chose what I chose.
Very well. This won't take long.
Wait! Didn't I warn you this was easier said than done? There are preparations to be made, factors to consider.
A beast is a beast. All yield to strength.
So far, this experience has done absolutely nothing to improve my opinion of alpacas. But that doesn't mean I can't do this. Revolting spit aside, they're just another animal.
Are you all right, Orclamat? We thought we heard you scream.
The third promise does not scream. It was more of a startled yelp.
Scream, in other words.
Did you find the Elector?
Oh, we certainly did.
Your mom reminded me that you can't just take normal ass bags to sports games anymore. So, I'm gonna have to think about that tonight. I had to go and wash all that nasty stuff off my face. I think I got all of it. But would you mind taking a sniff, just to make sure? The stench has ruined my sense of smell. Hey, I saw that look.
As Wooklamat helped demonstrate, Valley Alpaca are wary of people. Getting close enough to catch one will not be an task.
You might have warned me about that earlier. I have enough trouble with tame alpacas. How do you expect me to wrangle a wild one?
Rug emoji. With the proper saddle, you infuse the leather with a relaxing scent that's spitting beast.
Wonderful. Give me one of those then.
Have you perhaps forgotten you're a clan of merchants? If you want a taming saddle, you need to find a saddler and make them an offer. They don't come cheap, of course. Crafting a saddle will cost you the equivalent of 10 pel. Thousands.
You mean 10,000 pel? I do not have that kind of coin.
Converting to gil, that comes around 1 million or so. Mayhap if we all pitch in.
No, this is my feat to accomplish. I wouldn't feel right about having others pay the cost. I'll find the money somehow.
In that case, take this credit card. That basket of wool is worth the sum you paid me earlier, 1 pel in the hundreds column. Beginning with the wool, you can trade for even more valuable goods until you have something suitable to bargain with a saddle.
That's a nice gesture, but you think I can turn 100 pel into 1 million? That's 10,000 times more.
We need 10,000 pel, not 1 million. Looking for 100 times.
Right. I got panicked and confused it with Alphino's million gil.
I'm not so sure about this trading idea. We're almost talked into buying a cloak you did moments after you arrived.
But I just... I hate it when you're right.
Let me help you with your deal making.
Oh, hello again,
Totally. Bablu, I work here as a ranch hand, but I've also learned a lot about the peddler profession. It's alright if I aid them now, yes? I guided the claimants towards the first step of the feat, like you asked. As long as Woklamat goes alone to capture her alpaca, she is free to accept assistance from whoever she likes. Whomever she likes. Hooray! See about getting you that saddle then, third promise.
I don't know why you made your offer, but I could use an ally with a beak for bargains. Welcome aboard, Mablu.
Should the rest of us stay behind, perhaps? It may be easier to haggle over the prices without so many voices chiming in. Yes, stay here and pitch in with the ranch work. With Mablu gone, I'll need extra hands to tend the alpacas.
Gladly, although Lyrillith and Luxor, I think you should go with Wilclamont. You've seen markets and bazaars the world over and surely have sage advice to share.
Thus,
Yeah, we're super sage.
where's Claire when you need her? In that case, you should also hold on to the alpaca wool. If it's misplaced or soiled in some way, you'll have nothing to bargain with.
As if I'd do such a thing. But I'll leave the wool with Lyrillith and Luxor anyway. The better to keep my hands free.
Get that key out. Begin? I suggest we try trading the wool to Havli, the saddler. We won't agree to the deal, of course, but it'll give us an idea of how much he'll accept for his wares.
Totally normal.
I'm gonna grab a drink.
Okay. Nuh-uh.
Back.
Come back. I'm talking to Havli.
Don't have a moment to spare.
Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this would barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. And what might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of quality stuff and you've got yourself a deal.
This bodes well for us, Third Promise. Such mezcal we had for only 5 pel in the thousands call.
Hold on. Did you say Third Promise? Then my offer has changed. The saddle is going to cost you a jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years at the least.
$3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price?
Because I must support a man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zoral Ja will go to war and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. You asshole. It's nothing personal, Third Promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Can't say I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, and peace is unlikely to bring him more customers.
Emoji. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when clans were at war. Many of these Pelu pray for your victory will come out. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors. Take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still others are unsatisfied with the quiet prosperity and crave the future of the second promise and visions. They become obsessed with innovations like the dirigibles made trade swift. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the first promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit.
But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Throw it back.
Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when Yuk Hoi ruled our village. Words, God. Almost if I can't speak after sleeping for 2 hours.
Shh.
That's why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn Servant. Keep our nation from going back to the way it was.
Well then, I guess I better make sure I win the contest.
But the type of mezcal a saddle maker wants is so very expensive.
Are we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it. I may not have the head for trade or stomach for our alpacas, but I won't give up with a piece of Tuliolal on the line.
Then neither will I. We will make you the Dawn Servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's first try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. Of course, the Weaver. Bull Knock was his name, I believe. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision. He was there to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to... Oh, I'm reading your lines. But let's head back to the road where we first met him.
My voice doesn't mind. Stop, 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 stop,
You and your
stop.
thing.
It's not that fancy anymore.
To do the drifting if you turn.
Don't think so. Chocobo does.
Yeah, I only really noticed it. A lot of these other mounts are too fancy.
This is the spot. After Bolnuk talked to us, he walked off to the south.
And he was probably going to Ikolvu's. Ikolvu's Inn? Most visitors to Wakunpelo end up staying there.
Ikovlo?
I don't remember.
Because it's C-U-V, not C-U-L-V.
Oh. Let's go and check, shall we?
I wonder if I should put less ridiculous mounts in my mount roulette.
Why?
Is it not immersion breaking? Look at these ugly fuckers. Look at where the mouth ends.
Yeah.
Can I have that basket, Lirlith and Luxor?
No.
Handing over?
No, it's mine.
Thanks. Now let's see if we can turn a profit. Cutscene. Bolnak, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade?
Third promise. You wish to do business with me? Ought I ask what this is all about?
Explain, 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 explain. I see. So the goal is to turn that basket. I fucking. Yep.
What? Oh, you're reading my lines, I see.
Yep.
I see. So the goal is to turn that basket. Ah, fuck it. Oh, to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal? Allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace and Toral is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I'd prefer one pledged to preserve the peace, win the throne. Thus, I do humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the 100th column.
That's very generous, Bolnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down.
I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start.
Only because Lyrillith remembered our weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool.
That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered.
You think so?
I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable.
Here, Lyrillith and Luxor, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Arenville would never let me hear the end of it.
All set? Our next deal is waiting to be found. What the fuck?
Do you see how shiny the different bits of metal are? Like there's metal beads in the anklet of the trader and on the backs of Wiklamat's legs. And they look like Christmas ornaments. They're so shiny.
Leveraging yawning and connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. Individual in urgent need of a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves.
That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho?
Hard to write.
They have a fabulous sense of style.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice, sturdy poncho, but the design is traditional. I don't think the fashion is part of its appeal. So only those people with a practical need would be interested. Wait, that's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for a person without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy one.
Yes, there you go. We find the demand for our supply. Exactly. So where should we begin our search for prospective buyers?
There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be interested travelers. You took my line, I took yours, and went places with it.
Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamul Jaw hardly wear anything to begin with. God, is this going to be one of those stupid looking around things? Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. Mamul Jaw who soldier for a living prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. Even if they have bared shoulders, Mamul Jaw carrying arms can be struck off the list. I like how we click. Are we fighting? Is that what is going on? All right, so that one is wearing one. That one has a knife.
The disconcerted is the one that I am most likely to think that might want one.
Yeah.
You go for it?
Do it. Oh, it's...
Let's see. No cloak or coat or cloak, but also no weapon? We might have a winner. Hello there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress or lack thereof.
Oh, it was no choice of mine. Believe me, I was attacked by beasts on the way here, and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tuliolal, and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pelu I'm a man who takes pride in his appearance, and therefore his work as well. But now look at me.
Well, sir, this is your lucky day.
What a splendid poncho! This would be perfect replacement for the coat that I lost. Now he's British.
We'll be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade, for one of your fine tools, perhaps.
What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself, and I can vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the half well made. I value it at 1 pel in the thousands column.
Oh-ho, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal.
Wonderful! A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing with any Pelu merchant. Like the eponymous?
Yep.
Owner of Miplu's Mate Garden, for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate. Mate? Mate? And I thought to...
Maybe it's mate.
And I thought to impress her, tool I sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you.
Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Miplu's mate/mate garden we go.
Yes, but it's quite a distance on foot. We should take alpacas.
These ones will be the calm type, right? Shruggers.
Well done recognizing that toolmaker is a potential customer. If you have a mind to change professions, you make an excellent merchant.
Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Mablu has so kindly provided.
What with your voice? Getting the alpaca ride?
3, 2, 1, click.
And it's off to the mate field to go. Please don't spit. Please. Oh. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people.
I still don't trust them.
You have a knack for riding, no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, Upella would never have the becoming travel words. Can you imagine walking all the way across Toral? No idea what that for.
I swear that mountain is too tall to be real. Warkor Zamora, wasn't that the name?
A forbidding sight, isn't it? One I've never appreciated up close. You have to take the long way around these cliffs to get there, to the highlands belonging
To the
to
Yakoi? So Moblu, you said you were learning about the peddler profession. You don't care for ranch work?
No, I love it. I love working with alpacas. But becoming a peddler has been a dream of mine. It's just, I'm not sure I have the talent for it. I can help buy the taming saddle, though, and it'd be proof that I can do this after all.
In that case, you better get ready to be a merchant.
Look, we're almost there.
We made it, and without a single smelly incident.
I sent the alpacas back to Ikovlo's inn, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of the roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant. Weren't you, Third Promise?
That I was.
And perhaps you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Nobody took me in. Took in all the ranch hands, actually.
All of them.
Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're to prepare for the feat of gold. And it's mate harvesting season. They can't have too many quality hatchets. Add to that Wuklamot's way with people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. Words. That's Miplu herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the Third Promise, and let's get to the bargaining. Maybe this time don't say in front of the person that you're absolutely fucking screwing them on the deal. Just a weird thought I was having.
No. You have that little axe for me? Hand over. Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it.
Bad deal. Down to 750 pel.
You're Miplu, owner of these fields. I have a mind to trade if you're interested.
Well, the Third Promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer?
This hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan, the razor edge on this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops.
The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. A sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in 1,000 column, the same price as the hatchet. The deal would bring us no closer to the mezcal. If I may, Mistress Miplu, it's harvesting season, is it not? The Not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. Stupid smart people. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. Innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need of hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wuk Lamat. That's why I am prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair, given your reasons. We ourselves would be no better off for the transaction.
How about this then? If we were to help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal?
As a matter of fact, I would. Until Koana's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the fields.
Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain.
Added value to tip the scales? How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading?
You can rest here if you like, Mablu. Lilith and I have mate together.
Oh no, I'm helping too. Off to the fields then, and mind you pick the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you.
Gameplay.
Maybe we'll have to kill a mate bug. That you're
You gonna get on?
That you're farming. Boop, 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 boop.
Mablu says, "Do you see how Wuk Lamat came to my rescue there? She really is good with people." Wuk Lamat says, "I wasn't sure Meeplu would bite, but it goes to show you never know until you try." Your car is slow, man.
You've brought me some leaves then?
Handing over.
An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fare before I make any decisions, though.
Here, we brought our share as well.
Thank you, Third Promise. More than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of labor to the price of the hatchet, I'm prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaf. Premium mate? Bought at the shop, one sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Why don't we just go get 5 more bags and be done with this nonsense?
Then we could bid farewell to this hatchet.
I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we came to a mutually agreeable trade.
As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Maplu, what's wrong?
As I was saying before, even after everything's totally done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. Then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Tobley to accept my decision then?
Do we want to be Estinian and do choice 2?
Yeah.
So you intend to give up then?
I can't! After getting a taste of real trading, I want to be a merchant more than ever.
Then you'll just have to be honest. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace, and becoming Dawn Servant happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Tobley held the same opinion. So talk to him.
You're right. Better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. Green emoji. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision.
What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel?
No, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal.
Bargain our way into double the value, eh? So you think you can do it?
Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring.
Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zoral Ja? I mean, of course I am. I'm Book Lamont of Dawn's Promise, after all. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Erenville's point.
Ready then? Our next stop is the mezcal distillery.
Oh, you know what we haven't been doing?
Aether currents?
Yep. $211 yalms to the northwest.
You in combat out there?
Yeah, I'm running. Just, is there one over here by the Mate Garden?
Ba-da-ba-boo.
Yes. South? There it is. I know that practically speaking, there's not a huge reason to.
Pretty cool.
My Pink Reaper of Death.
What is that armor from?
PvP. It's pretty old, but it dies nicely.
Moblu time?
Yes. I am somewhat feeling like I'm fading, though.
Get to 10,000 at least? I feel like we're probably pretty... I clicked one. I want to speak with a man by the name of Gobley. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his products, so we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth. We're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. We could talk to some people here in the distillery, Luxor and Lyroleth. Perhaps Wuklamat could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn.
Here's Lovely. They say, "Aren't you lovely?" And she says, "Yes, yes, I am lovely." Talking to Bibilja. Me, I'm a chef from Tuliolal. I often come to buy Gobley's mezcal, the finest in Tiral, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during our dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, wanting not to be impolite, you understand, but I still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes me. Be nice to have less potent refreshments during such conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. I enjoy this person's chocobo color. I might need to change mine to something brighter. Suvli says, Gobley might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, though, he'll be laughed out of the sun perch. Raplu says, there's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around Agave Jaws. Agave Jaws? That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Their presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the things they love.
We might have to fight something?
Surely not.
So, what did you find out?
Explain.
Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobley is working. The millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. Go on ahead and I'll bring Wuklamat. Zone is pretty cool.
Yeah, I sometimes just want to stop and look around, you know? We haven't really just taken in the sights quite so much. But we also haven't been traveling far from here, so I assume we'll take a little bit more of a peek around at that time. I don't actually know where I'm going. I'm just...
You not read what Mobley said? Name is?
Yeah, just, you know, went up the wrong side. Gobley says, you have business with me, madam. Why don't we talk down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Now, what's this about? Keep it brief, if you would. I'm a busy man. We're in the market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice, I must warn you, though it doesn't come cheap. We don't have Pel, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top-grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal? Just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins.
Which of our cards do you want to play first?
Where do you think? The monsters? Or the distaste for strong drink? Distaste for strong drink seems most related to what he's doing right now.
Yeah. I'm alright with that.
Okay. Picking.
I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a Hubiko chef, is the same. Seeing as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having some other refreshments to offer. Something like mate tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course.
You're right, absolutely right. I'd noticed a growing reluctance on the part of my Hubigo friend, but I did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Even with that added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Do we offer to call the monsters causing them trouble?
Not yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with a presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility?
As a matter of fact, yes. I must admit, I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal.
Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared. First impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk into Olak Shunsa. It would be such a shame to miss the chance of a lifetime supply for want of proper garments.
So now we're just gonna neg him? That it would. Are you saying you have garments to offer? Something ideal for court?
We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing. An introduction to a weaver. His name is Bolnock, and his works are highly regarded in Tuliyola. As a supporter of Wuklamat and a keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion.
That is certainly a tempting proposal, and one which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales still aren't quite balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in the agave jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you.
With murder.
Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factoring in that saved expense and an introduction to this trusted weaver, this is shaping up to be a sound bargain. All right, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment, and Luxor, Lilith, and I will take care of those prowling nuisances.
Nuisances?
Oh, God. Yeah, nuisances.
That's some nuisance.
In the meantime, blah 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 blah. Oh, off we go.
Huh?
Moblu said 2 things.
Oh,
and-
I reading what you wrote and click through them. Bum, bum, bum. Bum, bum.
Oh. I feel like this bird is much improved. It's a lot shinier. Of course, it can't fly right now, but... I feel like red doesn't stand out a whole lot in this area for outfits. You know, this chocobo barding is excellent because if you watch, the motion of the chocobo makes it walk around.
Did you talk to?
Yes. Because I thought that you had, and that's why you'd gone ahead.
No, I was looking at the Aether.
Oh, there's an Aether Current?
I marked it.
You're a kind soul.
I haven't been up to it.
I'll wait there for you.
Fighting? My video game.
Jolt 3. So fancy. Are you fighting things, or were you?
Oh yeah, I thought you would.
Oh, I only did one of them, and then I went to the Ether Current.
That's how Claire and I figured out was the best way to do Aether Currents if someone was flying you around.
Makes sense.
Because like they're like, oh, it's to your left, and they're like that.
And flags require clicking.
Yeah. Oh, you gave me credit for that.
Good.
Did you get credit for the second one?
I still need one more. Speak with Lamont. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. It's a mountain zoo. I mean, it is kind of fun and glowy, you gotta admit.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, I could use a Mountain Dew right now. Definitely do another hour of MSQ if I had that much caffeine.
Well, maybe we should get some on the way home tomorrow.
And Claire did point out that the special bottles are 200 points instead of 100 points. We go to Circle K or whatever, we can do it. And even if we have to buy them for $3 each, still think it's fucking highway robbery. But,
At least it counts for more.
no. Those monsters are no trouble for you, it seems. Now, have the sack of leaves. Oh, sorry, I lost it. Thank you for looking after our precious trading good. Your monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bull Knock, as agreed.
Then the deal is done. Here, your jug of premium mezcal aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu.
You were the one that inspired me to come this far, Third Promise, but let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand.
Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future.
Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand for now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Otters.
Punchers. We're such good traders.
Dies?
Even at the palace, I don't think I've held a 1,000-peld jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Ah ha ha! Can you imagine if we dropped it? Yeah, the thought occurred to me.
Luckily, Havley's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. It feels like they're setting us up for disaster.
This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Handing over now. Phew, still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, Saddler. We brought you your mezcal. Do you want to take Havley?
Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? You had nothing. A few measly clumps of wool.
What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift for negotiation.
And the ability to murder things.
Blush.
Ponder. Self-realization. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zur al-Jah, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise.
Great. What are you doing, Cat?
Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long.
Hey, little kitty.
Squiggly kitty?
Squiggly kitty. Probably does not like how my hands smell.
Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair. You'll have an easier time with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. Ah, I can taste that smooth mezcal already.
We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think, we started out with only 100 pel basket of alpaca wool. Mablu, you're going to be an incredible merchant.
Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise.
We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. Goodness, it's getting busy over here. I clicked.
Oh.
Sorry.
You acquired the saddle then?
Yes, and thanks in no small part to Mablu.
Before you rush off to catch an alpaca, though, let me teach you how to saddle one. I'll bring out one of our wild-born friends so you can practice. Bring out one of our wild-born words.
I know. This is something I need to learn. They are so fluffy. Great sunken gods, I did it. Oh, it's so cute.
Oh, did you see the pictures getting posted?
Not yet.
He hardly seemed bothered, much less inclined to spit. He was completely accepting of Wuklimat's touch.
Oh.
That's because of the singular scent which the saddle has been coated. Alpacas find it very soothing. You know,
I've never taken a good long look at one of you before, but you're actually kind of cute.
You're only now noticing that? Oh, hey, here comes Dickbag.
Zor Ja, he's back. The fuck? Having done exactly what he set out to do. That alpaca he brought her, is it just me or is it glowing?
I've heard tales of such a beast. They say a golden alpaca lives in solitary existence deep in the valley where it shuns the company of both man and its own kind.
How did he manage to snare a prize like that? Our beast knows its betters. Faced with overwhelming strength, it will yield rather than risk death. An apt illustration how greatly the power of First Promise exceeds yours, Wuklamot. Asshole. Strength alone won't win him our father's throne. I'll be the one to find the Golden City, and then Taral can remain at peace.
An everlasting desire for peace can only be forged in fires of war. To unite as one, the people must be taught. They must suffer the horror and hopelessness firsthand.
Exhaustion from prolonged conflict. The wages of Mor's merciless nature. These are what moved the clans to join in the founding of Tulayolal all those years ago. Consider the younger generation in the village. Since birth, they have basked in unbroken harmony, and behold, they regard war as tragedy, not as tragedy, but opportunity. Thus does the resilient son seek to provide education. He offers much-needed lessons in the realities of conquest and a renewed appreciation for peacetime. Seems like a fucked up way to do it.
'Tis true that war's misery breeds a longing for peace. But I have seen with my own eyes what becomes of an empire forged through violence you propose, the rebellions it spawned and the ruins it left behind.
Nodded.
The Garlean Empire was a congregation of simpletons.
Not gonna argue there.
The oppressed fought back against their oppressors, as well they should. Men are not beasts. Only a fool would seek to rule over all with the threat of force alone.
This is why Gulul Jaja did not elevate the Mamul Jah, why he treated all clans with equal respect. However, the First Promise has his gaze fixed upon more distant horizons. He would unite not only Tulayolal, but the star in its entirety. What? Why?
I need not explain myself to you. Oh, well done indeed. The First Promise has completed the feat of gold with an appropriately golden flourish. May I present you your much-deserved keystone.
He's always been like that, never sharing his innermost thoughts with me or even with Kona. It's like we're not even family.
I blame you, Biggie.
I'll ponder Zoralja and his mysteries later. Right now, I need to think about finishing the feat of gold. I have my saddle, I've practiced how to use it, so lead on to where the wild alpacas roam.
Valley of Orunkanka is northwest of here. Come on, everyone. Even if we can't enter ourselves, we can see Wukalamat off to her hunt.
Do you need some wandering mountain zoos?
We were a little slow. An alpaca.
Oh, the monsters?
Yeah.
Oh, they put it in the quest list now.
Is this auto advancing?
Yes, it's got voices.
Oh,
Right. I'm off.
I was alt tab.
Oh.
So, shall we head back to the ranch, or...?
I'm staying here.
My voice for Mablu is totally
As
wrong.
will I. Wukalamat is alone in this.
I'm staying
The
here.
least we can do is stand watch and await her return.
It may be a while yet. Help me pitch the tent.
Is Alfie gonna go get firewood?
Trust a gleaner to come prepared for anything.
What's a gleaner?
You're also Russian.
Someone whose job it is to travel the world and procure uncommon things for their employers. Erenville specializes in finding animals, I believe.
But aren't you a Shitona from Shaktural? Why did you cross the salt?
When I was much younger, the thought of leaving Tural never even occurred to me. But then, some years ago, my mentor tasked me with a difficult hunt. Something I could never find, she said, so long as I clung to the familiar. She suggested that I leave home, leave Tural, and join the Gleaners of Sharlian. As one of their number, I could experience the world, immerse myself in myriad cultures and customs, see the many faces of nature. And once I had learned what is truly important, I would find that which I seek. My younger self took those words to heart. and off I went to become a gleaner.
Her words alone moved you to leave behind everything you'd ever known? You must have great respect for your mentor.
As it happens, gleaner work was much to my liking. And I all but forgot why I had pursued it in the first place. Yet, events conspired to put me back on the trail I'd abandoned.
Wait, are you saying you were tasked with finding the City of Gold?
I was. And though my hunt is now entangled with the right of succession, I mean to see it through.
Well then, I understand completely. We all have our reasons for seeking the Golden City. Which is all the more reason for us to work together.
Just so.
Clement is dead.
She should have been back by now.
She died of alpaca
Something's
spit.
happened to her. We need to tell Tobli and arrange a search party.
Wait. Do you hear that?
The whole herd.
I did it.
You're utterly spent, and small wonder.
Well done, Third Promise.
The ranch isn't going anywhere. Take a rest in the tent.
I think I will. Thank you all for believing in me.
You just talk to Alice. Ready to Mablu?
Yep.
I'm so relieved the third promise came back to us safely. Oh, it has to be Russian. I don't know how to do high-pitched and Russian.
We're not doing voices.
And the alpaca she tamed is a healthy-looking beast. Surely this will be enough to satisfy the feat of gold.
I think getting the same feeling is good enough. Enthusiastic if they're enthusiastic, you know?
What
All right.
Alright, did you click?
Wilclamont still seems a bit
Yeah.
unsteady on her feet.
Yeah. Wilclamont still seems a bit unsteady on her feet. Hardly surprising after she spent the night chasing alpacas. You know what will melt that fatigue away like magic, though? Mate tea. I'll run to the ranch and get a pot brewing. That way you can take your time. The tea will be ready when you arrive. As Mablu so wisely suggested, we shall set a slower pace for our exhausted third promise.
Yeah, I may have to edit my list to be less stompy. Are you not listening to the night music?
No, I have not music.
Oh. And Wook Lamont can't be that far behind. Ready to click?
Yeah.
Tea sounds. Gulp sounds. Heel sounds. Whoa, that tea is really magical. I'm feeling better already. I see you've become more comfortable around our fuzzy friends. Watching this one taught me a lot about alpacas. What grasses and fruits they eat, what sounds they react to, their adorable little quirks.
Uh-oh.
I guess I've grown kind of fond of them.
Welcome back, Third Promise. Accomplished the feat of gold, have you? Yes, there's no mistaking a valley alpaca. I commend you on your success. Well done.
Yes, we did it! Although, I couldn't find a shiny one like Zoral Ja did.
I'd be surprised if you had. Golden alpacas are born but once every few decades. They are elusive, solitary creatures that are rarely seen, much less captured, thanks to their innate physical and magical gifts. Only a single other person is known to have caught one before, that being Gulul Jaja himself.
Papa was chasing alpacas too?
So my grandfather's stories say. It was before the founding of Tuliolal, at a time when the mountain giants, the Yokhoi, held our people in thrall. Held by their overlords, our forebears would ride their alpaca mounts to the highlands to deliver gifts of food and other tributes. Those were wretched days, to hear grandfather tell it. Then along came young Gulu Jaja, unburdened by the mantle of the Dawn Servant. Our people were amazed by his imposing two-headed figure, equal to the Yokhoi in stature, and puzzled by his entourage of mismatched companions. Some trembled in fear, believing a new conqueror had come. Yet Gulu Jaja showed no such inclinations. He sat and spoke with us, sipping from cups of mate tea that we offered him, and grew somber when he learned of our plight. None could have anticipated what their visitor decided to do next. Gulu Jaja ascended the cliffs to face the giants and freed the Pelu Pelu from the Yokhoi's subjugation. He then turned an appraising eye upon our riders and proposed we take to the road to peddle our beverages. The suggestion seemed obvious for one who traveled as he did, intent on fostering amity between the clans. Off.
Sleep helps with that, you know. There's a bed in the house that we can sleep on.
So, as a few worlds from Gulu Jaja transformed us into a clan of itinerant merchants.
I never heard the bond Papa forged with the Pelu Pelu spoken of in that way before. The saga is not so detailed.
You may not know that Gulu Jaja sought a sure-footed guide for his trek up into the highlands, Thus did he capture a golden alpaca.
So both my brother and my father caught the rarest of creatures, while an ordinary one is the best I could manage.
The feat required no more than that, Third promise, and you brought back a perfectly wonderful beast.
Mablu's right. You're a perfectly wonderful beast. If anyone's ordinary, it's me. Gonna spit on you if you keep on talking bad.
Not only did you accomplish the feat of gold, you also made many trades and brought joy to many people in true Pelu Pelu fashion. I sorely doubt your sibling could have achieved the same result. You should be proud of the accomplishments which earned you your keystone.
I accept this D6 in the spirit which is intended. So, this is what they look like. Go on, set it in the tablet. Perfect fit. That leaves 6 more.
You're well on your way, Third Promise.
We'd have been lost without you, Mablu. Thanks to you, I learned so much about the Pelu people and your customs. Might seem obvious, but I've come to realize the importance of properly knowing something. It was because I didn't understand alpacas that I was uncomfortable around them.
I'm thankful to you as well. Look, you've given me great courage to say what I wasn't sure I could ever say. Tobly, I want to leave the ranch and become a merchant. I appreciate everything you've done for me. I've loved every moment of caring for the alpacas. But this is something I need to do. I need to walk my own path and make my own trades. As your parent, allow me to say one thing. I've always tried to give my wards lives filled with as much happiness as I could provide. Yet never once have I wanted that to be the only happiness you knew. Have my blessing to walk the path you choose, Mablu. It gladdens me to hear you found a calling you wish to pursue with such passion. You'll make an exceptional peddler, I'm sure of it. Thank you, Tobly.
What did I tell you, Mablu?
There's one last thing I can help you with, Third Promise. You need to find the Golden City, right?
That's the end goal.
And may I suggest you talk to the Yakhoi? They once ruled over far more than just Urkopacha and the Pelu Pelu. 1,000 years ago, they were the overlords of Dawntrail and all its peoples. During that era, the Pelu Pelu were commanded to search for the city of gold. They scoured every corner of the continent, but never found any trace of that fabled place.
But if they didn't find anything, what could the Yokoi have to tell us? They may not have found it, but the fact that they thought to look for it at all makes me curious. Perhaps there's value in delving into how the legend originated?
We lose nothing from asking the question. Besides, if we're determined to follow the path of the saga, we'll be visiting the giants eventually. Cryle, I have a question I've been meaning to ask. Since we finished with the feat, where did you acquire that earring?
My earring? Do you recognize it?
Yes. Pieces just like it first became fashionable in Yuktoral around 20 years ago. Since then, it's become a common tradition, to wear one as a charm for safe travel.
20 years ago, right around the time my grandfather made his journey. Yet the Dawn Servant implied the earring was connected to the Golden City in some way. Surely there's more to its significance than simple fashion.
If you want to know how it first came to be crafted, I could try to find out. Seeing as it's a regular seller for many merchants, I'm curious to learn about it myself.
I would appreciate very much, thank you. Jumping feet first into peddler business, eh, Mablu?
Cheer emoji.
Right then, let's head back to Tuluyolal and get ready to search for the next elector. Farewell for now, and thanks for all your help. I will become Dawn Servant, so make sure you set aside your best mezcal for the occasion.
She has a fearsome opponent in that brother of hers. Even brought a golden alpaca to heal. What do you heard Zural Ja's supporters talk? They might see opportunity in his expansionist ambitions, but they find the man himself intimidating, terrifying even. Whereas I've grown to love Wuklamat. Everyone she meets will come to love her too. That's why she'll win the throne. Might be right, Mablu. Might be right. Fade to black. Yes, fade to sky.
You see those structures up on the hill? We're going there sometime. Oh. It feels good to have the feet of gold safely under our belt, even if my victory pales beside Zoral Ja and his shiny golden alpaca. I know I shouldn't let it bother me, and gods know you've all been so supportive, but I want to be strong, or wise, like my brothers, to be a promise that people respect. Which is not likely if I stand here carrying on and on about things. Let's move. Back to Zabal Tia with us. The contest has hardly begun.
Oh yes, I'd love to do.
Looked like there were some Ether Current quests over there.
Yeah.
I trust that they were all Ether Current quests and not something else, so they can safely be left for later. Oh, where are we going? Oh.
Going to the marketplace. We calling it?
In bed? You okay with that?
Of course. Sleepy.
Alright. Shall we just pass this in and get to the point where we can talk to the Hanu Hanu and leave it there?
Sure.
And just like that, we found an elector and won our first keystone. I knew I was right to trust your instincts. Come on, let's keep things moving and march onwards to Kozama Uka. Chances are we'll find an elector there as well, but before we do, we should see what our patient Hanu friend has to say. I stole your line.
Yep.
Alright. I'm almost 91.
Me too.
Alright. Log out time?
Sure.
I might go tweak my lip color. That doesn't require Fantasia, so. This one just makes me look washed out, that's all.